How many animated Disney movies have you seen over the years? Have you noticed how the art has changed from when you were a kid to when you watch it in theaters now? So, with the development of new technology, Disney Animation was able to incorporate new ways to animate into their storytelling movies. Disney Animation had a few distinct periods of changing in animation, first starting with handing cells to Xeroxing, which is also known as Xerox copying or xerography, to finally computer animation. So Disney's first movies were created by hand. Animators had to actually hand color these plastic transparent cells, and there was one cell for each scene of the film. So the first full-length animated feature that employed the technique of handing cells was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So in cell animation, each animator would draw the scene on one side of this plastic transparent sheet, also known as a cell, and then flip it over and paint and detail the other side. These cells were then photographed by a movie camera, scene by scene. So it was one cell for each frame. It was really labor intensive and a really meticulous process to get this clean and sleek look of animation. Other movies that utilized this art style were Alice in Wonderland and also Bambi. So onto the second point, with the development of a new technique called Xerox copying or xerography, Disney was able to develop movies much faster than before, just using hand ink cells. So one of the first movies using xerography was 101 Dalmatians. If you look at the art style of the film, you're going to notice that it's a little bit messier than other Disney films. It has a very pencil sketch quality to it rather than the clean, sleek look of the characters you see in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So basically this technique allowed animators to copy drawings onto cells and then photograph them using a Xerox camera instead of hand inking each cell. So this saved animators a lot of time because they could just erase their pencil marks for a new scene and kind of draw in the new scene and then copy it instead of having to hand ink each cell and then wait for it to dry, which took a lot of time. And then xerography actually made this film possible because drawing and animating 101 Dalmatians would probably drive the animators crazy. So Xerox copying was actually developed because of a previous film that used hand-ink cell animation, which is Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty took almost 100 million drawings to make, but it only made it cost them $100 million. So with a smaller budget, Disney was able to use xerography and make 101 Dalmatians, which both turned out to be a success and actually saved Disney as a company. Moving on, they were able to make The Jungle Book, The Little Mermaid with xerography, and this was the art style and animation style for almost 30 years. So moving on to present day animation, Disney began to finally use computers to animate. One of the first animation systems through computer was called CAPS, which stands for Computer Animation Production System. It's basically the precursor to CGI, which is what's currently used today. So how this is called CAPS. How it works is that animators can scan images or sketches into a computer, and through the computer they were able to kind of color in and fix details. This also saved money and time and made the animation process and filmmaking process a lot easier to work with. So Caps was used to make Beauty and the Beast, Hercules, and Mulan. Okay, and then with CGI, images are created entirely using computer software. So this is CGI. The first film made with CGI was Toy Story, and it set the tone for future movies like Ants, Lion King, and also Frozen. CGI is a success because it allowed animators to have more time than previous methods, and they didn't really need to manually hand animate, so they were able to kind of employ other techniques into films. They could move beyond 2D animation to 3D animation and basically explore more diverse settings. So because new technology allowed them to have more time and cost-efficient methods, Disney Animation was able to explore other techniques that would actually influence films both inside and outside of the animation world. So in conclusion, Disney has come pretty painstakingly far from hand inking each movie frame, to utilizing the development of computer technology to create films. To look into the future of animation, we look forward to seeing animated films in higher quality, 4K, and then mixing different animation media methods such as CGI and 2D animation in one film, and then having more photorealistic animation that will provide more lifelike characters and animation. So as we have seen in the past, animation and art styles will continue to change with time as technology continues to change. So thank you for listening to my speech, and I hope you learned a lot about animation.